On this video, we're going to be talking about 10 ways or common mistakes how people lower their credit score. So I want to make sure you get your pen, your paper ready so you can listen to these 10 mistakes and stay to the end. And they don't realize that they're actually doing that. So hey, stay with me during the entire video and let's get into it. Number one, missing payments. Payment is typically a large factor when it comes to the credit scoring model. Even one payment 30 days late can actually bring your score down 30 to 50 points. So missing payments is key. Do not miss a payment. Payments are due every 30 days. If you need to go to 28 days, 27 days, 27, 28, 29 days, that's fine. Do not let the 30-day catch you. The 30-day whip. The 30-day catch you. I don't know. Just don't let it go 30 days. But that's one way that one mistake people make is they miss a payment. Whether it's a credit card payment, a car payment, or any kind of installment loan, they miss a payment. So first step, don't miss a payment. This is not a myth. This is what you do. You miss a payment and then you say, oops, I forgot, or oops, how do I correct it? So do me a favor, do not miss a payment. Now, number two, you're maxing out your credit card. You're using your Discover card, your Macy's credit card, your Macy's Federal Express. You're using your Target. You're using your gas card, or using your Nordstrom's card, and you're maxing it out. You're maxing it out. You have a credit limit of $1,000 and you're at $800. You're 80% in. You got 20% left. You're 80% in, 20% in. Yeah, that's what you are. So you got $1,000 limit and you're at $800 or you're at $900. So the ideal goal when it comes to your credit card is to be at 10%. So make sure you write this down. Any credit card you have, you want to be at 10%. 10% is the ideal goal. 10%. Number three, making only minimum payments. People get credit cards, and I'm talking to you, and you just make the minimum payment on your credit card. And you think it's okay. Well, I'm making my payment. You know, I got it. I made it on time. But you're making a minimum payment. You're not paying extra. You're not paying it off at the end of the month. Or you're not even getting close to paying it off. You're making a minimum payment. That's the third mistake that people make. They make the minimum payment. Well, if you make the minimum payment on your credit card, that's one of the worst things that you can do. You know, if I was you, your credit card was due on a certain date, and maybe, you only had the minimum, make an extra payment that month. Why not? It won't kill you. The one thing the credit card company don't tell you is they won't be mad at you if you make 2 payments. They won't be mad if you make 3 payments. If you get paid every week, why not make a payment every week when you get paid if you want to get that credit card paid down or paid off? You know, if I was you, set up on automatic payments to come out your account every week. Or if you get paid every 2 weeks, make a payment every 2 weeks. But make a little bit more than that minimum payment. If out of one check you need to make that minimum payment, make it on the second one payment. Your second payment for that same credit card that month or that installment loan. But that first payment, make a little bit more. Make a little bit more when it comes to that payment. So if anything, make more than the minimum payment. Don't be like the average joker, right? Average joker. Oh, I'm just going to make my regular payment every month. Why? It's because you're doing nothing but giving all the interest to the bank. They're going to take advantage of you as long as they can. That's why if you look on any credit card statement, they tell you if you keep your credit card this long and you're paying this much money, the way you're going, this is how much interest you're going to owe. This is how much you're going to owe them at the end of 5 years or 6 years. They will tell you on your credit card statement. The only thing you need to do is do what? Pay attention. Pay attention. It's real easy. Open your eyes when you open your credit card statement. Open your eyes. Look at your interest rate. Look at how long, if you keep it this long, if you keep paying on this credit card, how long, or installment loan, how long it's going to take you to pay it off. So if anything, you didn't get anything out of number 3, make more than a minimum payment. But also remember, what did the Queen say? Make 2 payments every month. You can make 3. It doesn't matter how many payments you make. Listen, your credit card company, your installment company, or if your mortgage company or your car company, the finance company, they're not going to be mad at you if you make more than the minimum payment. They're not going to be mad. They're probably not going to encourage you to do that, but you want to do that because you want to pay that loan off early. Now, number 4, the biggest mistake people make too is when they pay off their credit card in order not to use that credit card. You know what they do? Well, I'm glad you asked. They close old credit cards. Now, if you have a credit card that's 20 that you had for the last 20 years, and maybe you just recently finally paid it off, right? Because you paid it off, you used it, you pay it off, use it again, you paid it off, use it again, and you kept doing this cycle. You're doing a cycle, right? Doing this cycle. You kept doing the same thing. You pay it off, and then you continue to have rolling balances instead of paying off in 30 to 60 or 90 days. You keep having these rolling balances over the years. And then you decide, you know what, in order for me not to use this credit card that I didn't have for 20 to 30 years, I'm going to close the account. Well, that's the worst thing that you can do. You do not close an old account. Why don't you do that? Because when you go ready to apply for something and you get ready to apply for credit or anything that you want, that'll be the oldest credit that you have had, that you have shown that you have the ability to pay. So the worst thing you can do is number 4, close an old credit card. You know, we got to be able to have some juju. Well, I'm making this up. Juju is restraint to not to be able to use that credit card. Don't close it. Use it. Pay it off every month. Use it. Pay it off. Or if you're going to keep rolling balance, only keep rolling balance for 60 to 90 days. You know, don't keep rolling balance for years and years and years and years. So, number 4, closing old accounts. Big no to the queen. Don't close those old accounts. Now, I hope that you make it to the end of this video, because the 10 things that I'm giving you now that's going to bring your credit score down, it's going to save you. The video, to watch this video, is free on YouTube, right? If you're watching it on YouTube, right, it's free. Or any of my social media platforms, it's free. So if you have stayed this long with my video, stop it right now. You know what I need you to do? I need you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because you'll be notified every time the queen drops a video. You will be notified. You'll be notified every time I drop a video. So it's very great. Well, it'd be a good thing for you to do what? For you to subscribe. And why you want to subscribe? Because you want to be able to learn. You don't want to learn from your mistakes. The worst thing you can do is make a mistake, and then guess what? When you make a mistake, you know what happens? You don't learn from it. I'm going to teach you not to make a mistake. You know, not to make a mistake. Not. Learn from your mistakes. It's too many videos out there in the world for you to actually make a mistake and then you make the same mistake and not learn for it. The reason we do these videos, or I do my videos, is to help you before you make that mistake. So let's get on into number 5. I'm glad you held on to me this long, right? So number 5, applying for too many credit cards. You know, each application can create a heart inquiry. So what does that mean, Regina? Well, you know what? I'm glad you asked. Multiple applications in a short period can signal financial stress. Oh, you got financial stress. Oh, you need to get this credit card. You got some things that you need to handle, some things you need to do. So you didn't went and applied for 8 credit cards in one day, or 8 credit cards in 1 week, because you figured you need a credit card. Or you found out your score went up to 700 or 650, and now you need to apply because you need to pay off some bills, and you want to get that credit card, and you want to actually roll some balances onto a lower balance on a credit card. Yeah, that may be smart, but you don't apply so many times to that credit card in that short period of time. So that's number 5. Number 6, ignoring errors on your credit report. If you know that your address is wrong on your credit report and they got you at one address and you haven't lived there in 20 years, or you never lived there, get it corrected. Credit reports sometimes contain mistakes. Now, a wrong late payment can be hurting your score. Review your credit report regularly and dispute these inaccuracies. You know, maybe they accidentally reported a credit card 30 days late, you know, or maybe they didn't report it at all, or maybe they haven't reported to your credit report in a year or 6 months, and you've been making your payments on time. You just want to make sure that, you know, it's no errors on your credit report. You know, it's like a neck up from the checkup. Your credit report is a neck up from the checkup, right? It's just like when you go your annual physical every year, you're trying to make sure you're good, trying to make sure everything's in order and aligned, right? You got to do neck up from the checkup, or no, from the feature to, anyway, you know what I mean. You know, you got to check your errors on your credit report. Number 7. Now, this is like the kiss of death. Even though I'm always asking my customers for a cosigner, you know, I'm always asking because I'm in the car business. And yes, I have to be able to ask for cosigner, because if I can't get you done, then you know what I got to do? I'm going to ask you to find out. I'm going to say, hey, do you have a cosigner? Can your mom, can your dad cosign? Can your dog co-sign? Does the dog have a pulse? I'm just kidding. Can your mom, can your dad, can your auntie, can your friend, or your cousin, or your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, can they co-sign for you? You know, someone always say, is there someone that can co-sign for you out there? You know, I'm going to always ask that, right? That ain't always the smartest thing to do. That's one of the biggest mistakes that people can make is ask someone to co-sign for them. What does that mean? If the other person misses a payment, your credit will be impacted. So if you co-sign for someone and they don't make the payment, and they don't tell you they couldn't make the payment, then that's going to affect the person that you co-signed for credit and yours a credit. So number 7, co-signing for someone may be a huge mistake. But remember, the queen's going to always ask for a co-signer if you need one. I am. Why I'm going to ask you for that? Because that's just my job. That's just what I do. I have to ask for a co-signer. But if you ever co-sign for someone, just make sure that make sure that person makes their payments on time. Just because a person starts that way doesn't mean they're going to end that way. Again, let me say it again. Just because a person starts that way doesn't mean they're going to end that way. And that's number 7. If you do co-sign for someone, one of the biggest things that I can tell you what you need to do is just make sure that person makes that car payment every month. How do you do that? Well, first of all, you get a copy of the statement when you get a copy of the contract when you co-sign for someone. When that statement's due, you put that statement or the bill, the payment into your bills, and you check every month and you make a phone call. Did Donna Lou or Sally Sue make her payment this month, or has the payment been made this month on this 2020 Chevy Equinox already? Has it been? Is it been past the payment due date every month? Or has the person made the payment this month? You can call every month to check. Why wouldn't you? That is your credit. Just because you co-sign for someone, just because they start off good, doesn't mean they're going to end well. And I hate to say that people don't follow through on things that they say they're going to do, but life happens. The one thing what you got to be careful is you don't want life happen to you and you didn't make that mistake and somebody else did. So let's get on into number 8 because we're almost done. And again, if you have waited this long, you have watched the video this long, do me a favor, stop the video right now. Go hit that subscribe button because you'll be notified every time I do a video. And then you know what? You can always share my video. I have a lot of videos that I do. The videos are long videos. They're posted once a week. And then I have short videos. Short videos are within 2 minutes. They're like a minute and 50 seconds or 30 to 40 seconds or maybe 60 seconds. So do me a favor, go share my videos, subscribe, and you'll be notified again every time I do a video. Okay, so number 8, letting accounts go to collection. One of the biggest mistakes that you can make is letting your accounts go to collection, meaning that collection can significantly affect your credit worthiness. Now, this means ignoring debts that does not disappear, make them disappear. Collection accounts remain on your ports for years. They can remain on there 7 years, 8 years, and the reason I'm saying 8 years is because what happens sometimes is, this is one of the credit reporting when the banks that have specialized in doing it, and it's credit acceptance. It'll be on your credit report for 7 years, and then you'll go apply somewhere for a loan, and it's been in doormat, or they haven't even came after you. But after you go to the dealership and you apply for a car, you say, what's not on my credit report? And then all of a sudden, the particular dealership you went to, and they submit you to that credit acceptance. Oh, they're on a high alert then. They're high on alert then because they got your information. They got where you work. They got what you do. And all of a sudden now they're gonna start collecting from you, or you on their radar again. One thing I always tell people is that credit acceptance has a collection department. They have a team of lawyers to come after you. So if you don't make your payment, eventually they're gonna get you. They're gonna get you when you think things are going real well, and then you think ain't nobody looking for you. And then they're gonna take your taxes. They can't get it from you. They'll take your taxes, right? You think you're getting so much money back, and then you realize that you ain't getting enough, or they'll garnish you to get for them to try to get their monies. Number 9, not having mixed credit types. Now, what does this mean? Credit score models may consider your experience managing different types of credit. That means that such as credit card bills, right? Installment loans can contribute a stronger credit profile. So I'm just going to tell you, so if you got a mortgage, that's one kind of loan. You have credit cards, another one. And then you have a mortgage, a car payment, and credit card. That's mixed credit, not just a house payment that you've been paying on. They're looking for mixed credit. Mixed credit is a variety of things that you are paying on. And remember, if you have a house, if your interest rate is fixed, your payment, your interest rate's never going to change every month. If it's adjustable, it's going to adjust according to the index. Okay, it's gonna adjust if it's adjustable, and then because you'll be notified if your interest rate's gonna change, if it's an adjustable interest rate. If it's fixed, it's gonna stay the same. That's buying a house. Now, if you're looking at buying a car, interest rates on cars are fixed. They never change. Your payment never changes. Only way your payment changes when you buy a car is that maybe you pay a little extra that 1 month. You pay a little extra that 1 month, and then your payment be cheaper the next month. I always tell my customers that if you're buying a car and your payment changes next month, why not make your payment and then take those, maybe that's extra $100 or $200 that you make per month, that you have per month, and put that toward the principal balance of your loan, so that the loan balance can come down faster. Make your payment. Okay, and then pay extra every month. But you have to do this consistently in order for your balance to come down. And then also is, people don't understand you can always refinance. You don't have to wait 12 months or 6 months to refinance if you have great credit. Now, if you have bad credit, the reason we tell you to wait 6 months or the 12 months at the most to wait to try to refinance is that because these lenders or these credit unions want to see some on-time payment. So that's the purpose of you waiting. But anybody can go refinance a loan the next month, And I've seen people try to refinance in 2 weeks, but you got to have we got to let paperwork go into effect before you figure you can just go refinance real quick. So number 10, checking your score but not your habits. Many people focus on the number instead of behaviors that influence it. Say your credit score is a result of your financial habits. Improving your payment history, reducing your balances, managing accounts. Responsibilities are what drive long-term improvement. It's just like your house. Taking care of your house, getting your, if you need to do some upgrades, windows in your house, if you need to upgrade your countertop, maybe to granite, if you need to do something in your bathroom, your toilet, maybe you have a small toilet and then you need a bigger toilet. I remember when I first bought my condo, I had those small toilets. Now I got bigger toilets because I'm older and I don't want to sit on the floor when I use the bathroom. So I got a bigger toilet. Now I know that's a little personal I'm sharing with you, but I'm just telling you, home improvements, So it's like improving, taking care of your house is like taking care of your credit, or taking care of your mouth, your teeth, or taking care of your body, So having that drive long-term improvement on your credit. All right, if you stay for this whole video, like I've said, it's the third time in the video, make sure you do what? Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you share. Make sure you tell everybody about my channel, right? Because I'm bringing news to you. News to you every time I get a chance. News to you. All right, thanks for watching my video. Guess what? I'll see you on the next video.